Hello, everyone! Do you want to learn English faster? Do you want to speak English confidently without feeling nervous? Do you want to understand English better and have real conversations with people? If your answer is yes, then this video is for you. Today, I'm going to share 10 amazing tips that can help you improve your English in a simple and enjoyable way. These tips are especially helpful for beginners, but anyone can use them to become a better English speaker. So, grab a notebook, relax, and let's start learning together. Tip number 1. Don't try to be perfect. This is one of the most important tips for every English learner. Many people are afraid to speak English because they think they must speak perfectly. They worry about grammar mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, or using the wrong words. But here's the truth. Perfection does not exist. Even native English speakers make mistakes every day. They sometimes forget words, use incorrect grammar, or pronounce things differently. The goal of learning English is not to be perfect. The goal is to communicate. Imagine you are talking to someone and you say, "I go to the store yesterday." Is it perfect English? No. Will people understand you? Yes. They will know that you went to the store yesterday. Communication is what matters most. Later, you can learn that the correct sentence is, "I went to the store yesterday." But don't let small mistakes stop you from speaking. Mistakes are actually your friends. Every mistake teaches you something new. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you, your brain remembers it. Next time, you will be more likely to say it correctly. Think about children learning their first language. They make hundreds of mistakes before they become fluent. Nobody expects them to be perfect. So why should you expect perfection from yourself? Relax. Smile. Speak English whenever you have the chance. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Every conversation is practice. Every mistake is a lesson. And every lesson brings you one step closer to fluency. Remember, don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being understood. That's how real progress happens. Tip number 2. Practice shadowing. Now let's talk about a powerful technique called shadowing. Shadowing is fun, simple, and very effective. What is shadowing? Shadowing means listening to an English speaker and repeating their words immediately after them. You become their shadow, you listen, they speak, you repeat. Simple. For example, if the speaker says, "Today is a beautiful day," you quickly repeat, "Today is a beautiful day." Try to copy their pronunciation, rhythm, speed, and expression. You can use YouTube videos, podcasts, movies, TV shows, or even short English clips. When you're a beginner, choose short and easy content. Listen carefully. Pause after each sentence. Repeat it out loud. Smile and have fun with it. At first, it might feel difficult. You may not understand every word. That's okay. Keep going. Little by little, your ears will become stronger. Your pronunciation will improve. Your speaking will become smoother and more natural. Shadowing helps train your brain, ears, and mouth to work together. That's why many language learners love this method. Even practicing for 5 or 10 minutes every day can make a big difference. Imagine learning English while copying your favorite speakers or actors. Sounds fun, right? The more you shadow, the more confident you will become. Soon, you will notice that English words come out of your mouth more naturally. And that's a wonderful feeling. Tip number 3. Create stories with new words. Learning vocabulary can sometimes feel difficult. You learn a new word today. Then, a few days later, you forget it. Has that ever happened to you? Don't worry, it happens to everyone. A great way to remember new vocabulary is by creating stories. Whenever you learn new words, use them in a short story. Let's imagine you learned these 3 words. Cat, happy, play. Instead of memorizing them separately, create a simple story. For example, once upon a time, there was a happy cat named Charlie. Every morning, Charlie loved to play with a small red ball in the garden. The happy cat played for hours and always had a big smile on his face. See how easy that is? Now the words are connected. Your brain loves connections. Stories help vocabulary stay in your memory much longer. The story doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be long. It can be funny. It can be silly. It can even be completely crazy. The important thing is to use the new words. You can write your stories in a notebook. You can type them on your phone. You can even tell the stories aloud. The more creative you are, the easier the words will be to remember. Over time, you will build a large vocabulary naturally. And best of all, learning becomes much more enjoyable. So every time you learn a new word, ask yourself, can I make a story with this word? The answer is usually yes, and that simple habit can make a huge difference in your English journey. You can also tell your stories to a friend, a family member, or even to yourself in front of a mirror. The most important thing is to use the new words as often as possible. The more you use a word, the easier it becomes to remember. Don't worry if your stories are short. Even a story with 3 or 4 sentences can help you learn a lot. Just relax, be creative, and have fun with it. Learning vocabulary doesn't have to be boring. When you create stories, your imagination helps your memory. And before you know it, those new words will become a natural part of your English. This tip may sound simple, but it is very important. When you are learning English, try your best to stay relaxed. Why? Because your brain works much better when you are calm. Think about a time when you felt nervous, maybe during a test, an interview, or when speaking in front of people. What happened? You probably forgot things you already knew. Maybe your mind went blank. Maybe your heart started beating faster. That happens to everyone. Now think about a time when you felt comfortable and relaxed. It was easier to think. It was easier to remember things. And it was easier to speak. The same thing happens when learning English. When you relax, words come to your mind more easily. You can speak more naturally and confidently. Here are some simple ways to relax when speaking English. Before you start speaking, take a few slow, deep breaths. Breathe in. Hold it for a moment. Then slowly breathe out. Do this 2 or 3 times. You will immediately feel calmer. A calm mind helps you think more clearly. Remember something important. Making mistakes is normal. Every English learner makes mistakes. Even advanced learners make mistakes. Mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. Instead of feeling embarrassed, smile and keep going. Every mistake helps you improve. Try to practice English with people who encourage you. Maybe a friend, maybe a family member, maybe an online language partner. When people support you, speaking feels easier and more enjoyable. You become less afraid of making mistakes. Many learners think they must speak very fast, but that's not true. Native speakers often speak slowly when they want to communicate clearly. Take your time. Think before you speak. A slow and clear sentence is much better than a fast and confusing one. Learning English is not a race. You do not need to become fluent overnight. Enjoy every small improvement. Celebrate every new word you learn. Celebrate every conversation you have. Smile when you understand a movie sentence. Smile when you successfully order something in English. These small victories matter. Remember, the more relaxed you are, the better you learn. So, take it easy, stay positive, and enjoy the process. One of the best ways to improve your English is by talking with other people. English is a language, and languages are meant to be spoken. You can study grammar all day. You can memorize hundreds of words. But if you never speak, it becomes difficult to build confidence. That's why conversation groups are so helpful. First, try to find people who also want to improve their English. They could be friends, classmates, family members, online language partners. Create a small group and make a simple rule. Let's speak only English during our practice time. At first, it may feel strange. You may stop often to think about words. You may laugh at your mistakes. And that's okay. That is part of learning. Choose a regular time to practice. Maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe every evening for 15 minutes. Consistency is more important than long study sessions. Even short conversations help. You can meet in person, or you can meet online using video calls and group chats. Don't force yourself to talk about boring things. Choose topics you enjoy. For example, movies, music, sports, travel, food, hobbies, dreams, and goals. When you talk about things you love, speaking becomes easier and more natural. Remember that everyone is learning. Nobody is perfect. If someone makes a mistake, encourage them. If someone forgets a word, help them. A friendly environment helps everyone grow. Soon you will notice something amazing. The conversations that once felt difficult will start feeling easy. Your confidence will grow little by little, and speaking English will become more natural every day. Role-playing is one of the most fun ways to practice English. It means acting out real-life situations. This helps you prepare for conversations you may have in the future. First, find a practice partner. It can be a friend, a family member, a classmate, another English learner. Then choose a situation. For example, ordering food at a restaurant, booking a hotel room, buying clothes, asking for directions, visiting a doctor, going to a job interview. Now pretend you are really in that situation. Let's imagine you are booking a hotel room. One person becomes the hotel guest. The other person becomes the hotel receptionist. The conversation might sound like this. "Hello, I'd like to book a room for 2 nights. "Of course. What dates would you like to stay?" "I'd like to stay from Friday to Sunday." "Great. We have a room available." Simple, right? Role-playing helps you think quickly and respond naturally. It also teaches useful vocabulary that you can use in real life. The more situations you practice, the more prepared you will feel when those situations happen for real. And the best part? It doesn't feel like studying. It feels like playing a game with friends. So, be creative. Act confidently. Laugh when things are funny. And enjoy practicing English in a fun and realistic way. You can switch roles and practice many different situations together. For example, today you can be the hotel guest and your friend can be the receptionist. Tomorrow, switch roles. You become the receptionist and your friend becomes the guest. This gives both of you a chance to practice different vocabulary, different questions, and different responses. You can also try many other situations: ordering food at a restaurant, shopping for clothes, asking for directions, going to a doctor, attending a job interview, meeting someone for the first time. Every situation teaches you something new. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will feel speaking English. Role-playing is powerful because it prepares you for real life. When you actually travel, visit a hotel, order food, or talk to someone in English, you won't feel completely lost. Instead, you'll think, "Wait a minute, I've practiced this before." And that feeling gives you confidence. It helps you respond more naturally and speak without too much fear. So don't be shy. Use your imagination. Have fun. Act out different situations and enjoy learning English through real conversations. Tip number 7, use the paraphrasing technique. This is one of my favorite techniques because it improves both your understanding and your speaking skills at the same time. The technique is called paraphrasing. Don't worry if the word sounds difficult. The idea is actually very simple. Paraphrasing means taking information that you read or hear and explaining it again using your own words. Let's see how it works. First, find something short in English. It could be a news article, a short story, a YouTube video, a podcast clip, a social media post. Read it or listen to it carefully. Try to understand the main idea. Then close the article or stop the video. Now challenge yourself. Can you explain what you just learned? Imagine you're telling a friend about it. For example, maybe you read a story about a dog that saved a child. Instead of repeating every sentence exactly, you could say, "I read a story about a brave dog. The dog noticed that a child was in danger and helped save the child." Simple, right? You don't need to use the exact same words. In fact, using different words is the whole point. This exercise is wonderful because it checks your understanding. If you can explain something in your own words, it means you truly understood it. If you struggle, that's okay too. Just go back, read, or listen again, and try one more time. Every attempt makes you stronger. Paraphrasing also improves your vocabulary. You learn different ways to express the same idea. For example, instead of saying, "The movie was very good," you might say, "The movie was excellent," or "The movie was really enjoyable," or "I loved the movie." See how many ways there are to express the same thought? This skill is extremely useful in real conversations. It helps you explain things clearly when you cannot remember a specific word. So start using the paraphrasing technique every day. Even 5 minutes of practice can make a big difference. Tip number 8. Practice the expansion technique. Now let's learn another powerful speaking exercise. It's called the expansion technique. This method helps you create longer, more detailed, and more interesting sentences. Many English learners speak using very short sentences. For example, I have a cat. This sentence is correct, but we can make it much more interesting. Let's add a detail. I have a small black cat. Now the listener can imagine the cat more clearly. Let's add even more information. I have a small black cat that loves to play with a red ball. Now the sentence feels alive. Let's continue. I have a small black cat that loves to play with a red ball every afternoon in the garden. See what happened? One simple sentence became a rich and detailed description. This is exactly what the expansion technique teaches you. Let's try another example. Start with, I went to the beach. Now expand it. I went to the beach with my family. Expand again. I went to the beach with my family last weekend. Expand again. I went to the beach with my family last weekend, and we had a wonderful picnic near the ocean. Much better. This exercise trains your brain to think in English for longer periods. It helps you describe people, places, experiences, and ideas more clearly. The more details you add, the more natural your English becomes. A great idea is to keep a notebook. Every day, write one simple sentence, then challenge yourself to expand it 3, 4, or 5 times. After a few weeks, you'll be amazed by your progress. Your speaking will become richer, your writing will improve, and expressing your ideas will feel much easier. Remember, small sentences are good, but detailed sentences help you communicate even better. So practice expanding your sentences every day. Summer. Tip number 9. Be confident. This tip is extremely important. Confidence can change everything. Many English learners already know more English than they think. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is fear. They are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid of being judged. They are afraid that people will laugh at them. But here's something important to remember. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. Nobody started speaking perfect English. Everyone had to learn step by step. Everyone made mistakes. Everyone felt nervous at some point. Confidence does not mean speaking perfectly. Confidence means speaking even when you are not perfect. Imagine 2 learners. The first learner knows a lot of grammar but is too afraid to speak. The second learner makes mistakes but speaks every day. Who do you think will improve faster? Usually, the second learner. Why? Because practice creates progress. Every conversation builds confidence. Every conversation teaches something new. So stop waiting until your English becomes perfect. Start speaking today. Speak with a smile. Speak with courage. Speak even when you feel nervous. The more you speak, the more confidence you will gain. And the more confidence you gain, the better your English will become. Believe in yourself. You are learning. You are improving. And every day you are getting closer to your goal. When you are learning English, never let the fear of making mistakes stop you from speaking. Many learners stay silent because they are afraid of saying something wrong. Maybe you have felt this way too. You want to speak, but you start thinking, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? What if my grammar isn't correct? These thoughts are very common, but remember something important. Making mistakes is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you are learning. Every mistake teaches you something new. Every mistake helps you improve. Think about how children learn to speak. They make many mistakes every day, but they keep talking. And because they keep talking, they eventually become fluent. You can do the same. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Even native English speakers make mistakes sometimes. They forget words. They use incorrect grammar. They misunderstand things. Nobody is perfect. The important thing is communication. If people understand your message, then you are already succeeding. Practice speaking. Every day, confidence grows through practice. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. Talk to your friends, talk to family members, talk to classmates, join online conversations, or simply talk to yourself in English while walking, cooking, or doing daily activities. Every minute of speaking practice helps. At first, you may feel nervous, but little by little, your confidence will grow. Focus on your progress. Don't spend all your time thinking about what you cannot do. Instead, focus on what you can do. Celebrate every small success. Did you learn 5 new words today? Wonderful! Did you understand an English video without subtitles? That's amazing! Did you have a short conversation in English? Be proud of yourself. Small progress becomes big progress over time. Don't compare yourself to others. This is very important. Everyone learns differently. Some people learn quickly, some people need more time, and that's perfectly okay. Your journey is your own. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. If you know more English today than you knew last month, then you are moving forward. And that's what matters. Use positive self-talk. The way you talk to yourself matters. Instead of saying, "My English is terrible," try saying, "My English is improving every day." Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I can learn this with practice." Positive thoughts create positive energy, and positive energy helps you stay motivated. Every morning, remind yourself, "I can do this. I am improving. I am becoming more confident." These simple words can make a big difference. Remember, confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build, and you build it every time you use English. Tip number 10. Practice role switching. And let's talk about one of the most fun speaking activities. It's called role switching. This exercise helps you become more flexible and natural in conversations. Role switching simply means changing roles while talking. One person asks questions, the other person answers. Then you switch. The person who answered now asks the next question, and the conversation continues. Simple, right? First, find a practice partner. It could be a friend, a family member, a classmate, an online language partner. Next, choose a topic. For example, food, hobbies, travel, movies, weekend plans. Let's imagine you're talking about food. One person asks, "What is your favorite food?" The other person answers, "My favorite food is pizza because it is delicious and there are many different kinds." Now switch roles. The person who answered asks, "What is your favorite hobby?" The other person replies, "My favorite hobby is reading books because I enjoy learning new things." Then continue asking and answering questions. This activity is great because it teaches you both sides of a conversation. Many learners only practice answering questions, but real conversations require both asking and answering. Role switching helps you practice both skills. It also teaches you how to keep a conversation moving naturally. You learn to think quickly. You learn to ask follow-up questions, and you become more comfortable talking with people. The best part? It feels more like a friendly chat than a lesson, so grab a partner and start practicing. The more conversations you have, the more natural your English will become. Final message. Congratulations! You have just learned 10 powerful tips that can help you improve your English faster and speak with more confidence. Let's quickly remember them. Don't try to be perfect. Practice shadowing. Create stories with new words. Stay relaxed. Join conversation groups. Practice role-playing. Use paraphrasing. Expand your sentences. Build confidence. Practice role switching. Now here's something very important. Learning English takes time. It doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen in 1 week. But if you practice a little every day, amazing things will happen. Many people around the world have learned English by themselves. They didn't have perfect teachers. They didn't have expensive courses. They simply practiced consistently and never gave up. And you can do the same. Remember, every new word you learn matters. Every sentence you speak matters. Every mistake you make helps you grow. Every day of practice brings you closer to fluency. So keep going. Keep learning. Keep smiling. And most importantly, keep speaking English. I believe in you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed these tips, don't forget to like, subscribe, and continue practicing your English every day. Take care, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Happy learning, everyone!